Still interesting, he never scored for his country, Giovinco. 14 caps, no goals. Yeah, just to recap that substitution, even though we were told something different, it's actually El Shaarawy who's come off rather than Montolivo. So Giovinco will play alongside, perhaps just behind Mario Balotelli.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason for the sub, is Giovinco will play closer to Balotelli, giving him more of a combination play where El Shaarawy was drifting really far out wide. I think Prandelli wants more support centrally with Balotelli up front. And for the Americans that remember the game in February, Giovinco is that guy that likes to find those seams, and he can get in behind that back line. So when Balotelli drops into the midfield in front of the two center backs, then there's someone to get in behind.
Well, there's now 7 Juventus players out there of the 11 for Italy. Here's Rossi. We were speculating at half-time, Taylor, about the Czechs being the ones who had to make some sort of switch perhaps early on in the second half. They need to win this game. Even a 0-0 draw won't do them much good.
And it only takes 1 minute and 30 seconds for us to see our first person slip again.
What happened to that half-time hive of activity we were expecting in the changing rooms?
It's amazing. I mean, that is the 9th or 10th slip we've seen on that part of the field.
Comes the corner, Buffon under duress, the header back in. From that man, Czech again. Couldn't guide it on target.
You just have the feeling that if the Czech Republic are going to steal a goal here, that it's going to come off a set piece or a mistake from the Italians, because other than that, they having a difficult time getting anywhere near Buffon other than shots from 25, 26 yards out. But to go back to your point, I'm just shocked they haven't brought in another center forward, someone to play closer to Kozak up front.
Yeah. They have Thomas Peckard on the bench, man who plays for Nuremberg in Germany. The Czechs trying to qualify for the World Cup for just the 2nd time as the Czech Republic. Only in 2006 did they make it. They weren't there in South Africa. They have a much better recent record at the Euros than they do at the World Cup. They've missed the European Championship in 6 editions of the tournament. 3 times have made the knockout rounds, including last summer. Italy, well, they're close to ever presence, aren't they? When you look at World Cup history, they've only missed 2. The very first World Cup in 1930, and the only one they've actually failed to qualify for was 1958 in Sweden. Still a sense of stalemate, really, surrounding this encounter. Stephan El Shaarawy is finally confirmed as the man who departed for Giovinco. Abate is going to play it out because Balotelli is down, and I think Balotelli,
he got the memo. He changed shoes. He changed boots at halftime for sure.
Changed the colour of his boots too. But this will be cause for concern here. He went down under duress from Sushi.
Was extremely involved early on in this game, but he's been very limited with touches and service and not really involved in the last 20, 25 minutes of this game.
12 goals in 13 Serie A appearances after his switch to AC Milan. Very much responsible for them claiming the third and final Champions League spot in Italy.
Just looks more comfortable in Milan, doesn't he?
Yeah. It will be a real thrill to see him back in the Champions League next season. He had to sit and watch from the sidelines, having already played for Man City this past season. Marchisio. Talked about how much on the same wavelength Balotelli and El Shaarawy are, a club and country, but Giovinco will be almost a new partner for Balotelli for the second half. Buffon couldn't get there and prevent the corner. Is this the moment for the Czech Republic?
The last two corners, Adrian. Kozak has looked to try to get in front of Buffon coming off his line.
Again, fairly easily dealt with at the back now. Giovinco has done well to spring an Italian counter-attack, which runs out of steam, though, all too quickly.
Yeah, but that's much better from Mario Balotelli. Much better. When he's involved and focused, and that good one-touch layoff to Giovinco allows Italy to get forward.
Rosický charging forward, but then the pass failing to find Kozak. Andrea Pirlo never had a quiet first half. Rossi wanting some action in front of him. There was precious little. Another attack peters out. Known for his calmness and his tranquility. We mentioned that in the first half. Cesare Prandelli may have those qualities tested in the second. Came here with every intention. Going home with 3 points. 1 point, of course, would be perfectly acceptable outcome, you would think, for Italy, given the state of the group.
Well, and I think any kind of result they can get, whether it's 1 point or 3 points, allows them a little breathing room going down to Brazil for a Confed Cup.
Yeah. They're in a tough group as well, aren't they? They're in the host nations group, the Confederations Cup. Brazil, Mexico and Japan, the other teams they will meet. Offside, and the ball ends up in the net, but the whistle had gone a couple of seconds prior to that.
And both great chances from Czech Republic have come from Sivak on offside positions on set pieces.
Yep. Sivak in the first half, producing a fine, smart save from Buffon that in the end wasn't necessary because of the offside flag. Pirlo switching it wide. Abate with room to roam. Italy still have the home game to come against the Czech Republic in the fall. Home game as well against Bulgaria, with the team in second place. Tell you that in this group, down at the bottom of this group, Malta got a rare World Cup victory today. Away from home too against Armenia. It was only their second ever World Cup qualifying victory. A tiny Mediterranean island of Malta celebrating tonight. Marchisio. Now the break could be on here. Czech. The bounce worked against him and worked in favour of Leonardo Bonucci.
Just such good defending from Barzali. He doesn't overcommit, allow Jurček to get in behind him. He holds his ground for a half a second and then wins the ball.
Just when it looked a counter-attack might be on for the Czechs.
But that split-second indecision from Jurček cost him. And that's credit to Barzali's one-on-one defending.
Chiellini. Giovinco. And it's stolen away from him. Pirlo and Rezek, key protagonists for both sides. Neither of them had the influence on the game that might have expected so far, Taylor. A little flare up here, Bonucci and Kozak staring each other down.
Just an easy game for Bonucci, though. Kozak's up front by himself. He's got covered with Barzali next to him. It's just been an easy game.
Kozak, who mentioned, has come up against these defenders at club level with Lazio. Balotelli. Here's Czech. Rosický. The reader's cross. In the direction of Jurček again. Giovinco, clever. A change of pace from Giovinco. Into the area he goes. Well, what was promising rather petered out. The ball behind Marchisio, sort of that. Just odd flashes of promise, Taylor. This was one of them.
Yeah, and his low center of gravity is so difficult to pick up because he's so quick in tight spaces, but then it's the final ball that's lacking. Marchisio with a great run in behind.
Had a sensational year with Parma 2 seasons ago. 15 goals he scored, but only 7 this year for Juventus. Portugal are in front against Russia in what was a huge clash there. Helga Postica.
That was quick.
Yeah.
9 minutes in.
That perhaps is the heavyweight tie of the day in terms of European qualifying. Now Czech. It's been the fulcrum for most of the Czechs' good work. Frustration in Prague, the decision going against the home team. Marchisio winning the free kick.
Well, and I think every Czech player has, there's no foul there whatsoever. Jurček comes in very cleanly, wins the ball. Unfortunately, that's been the highlight of this game.
Yes. Not much to write home about so far. And that perhaps Symptomatic of what we've seen, another ambitious effort from Montalivo.
Well, it's the surprising part for me is from the Czech Republic side is because the build-up to this qualifier has been all about it's a must-win game, 3 points, but they haven't played like it whatsoever.
Yeah, really, again, we can't stress this enough. A point does them very little good. This is their game in hand against the team above them in Bulgaria. It would reduce the deficit to 1, but they still have to go to Bulgaria and to Italy, the Czechs. You'd have to say goal scoring in general is a concern. They've been shut out in 3 of their 5 qualifiers so far, but here's a chance for them to break through, and Buffon had to act smartly. Kozak was in the clear.
And the 2 times the Czech Republic have gotten in behind, Buffon's been there to answer that, and that's been his smart understanding of when to come off that line. And any split second that Kozak took to make that decision, Buffon was there. We saw it in the first half with Giorgio getting in behind, and then there with Kozak as well.
Now the shot was declined there. Seemed like Rosický was lining one up.
And Adrian, so often when you talk about goalkeeping, you always want to talk about the point-blank saves and the big saves, but it's positioning.
Now Giorgio has wriggled clear. It won't quite spin the way though of Kozak.
It's a great run in behind from Kozak, but so often with goalkeeping, underrated is positioning and understanding when to come off your line. And Buffon has been excellent at that his entire career, almost playing as a sweeper.
Yeah. And Giorgio seems to be everywhere at the moment on the home side, barging in on Montalivo. Abate running out of room. A subdued Italian performance in general. After a long season, still more adventures to come for them in South America this summer. Mikhail Bilek looking on. Man who played for the old Czechoslovakia at a World Cup in 1990 and scored, actually. Kozak, what amounted to a gentle pass back really for Buffon. Now Giovinco has found some space. No foul. Interesting decision from referee Moen from Norway. It's as though Giovinco had been clipped. Now it looks as though Kozak has been clipped, and he doesn't give that one either. Opened up for the shot from distance, but always skewing away from goal from Ricardo Montalivo.
Well, now the intensity of this game's picked up over the last 5 to 6 minutes as you start to see Czech Republic pushing forward. And now the game's opened up a little bit.
Montalivo, who scored twice in 43 games for Italy. Here's the man who had divided loyalties in the semi-final last year, another from Germany. Always been a favourite of Cesare Prandelli's. Ricardo Montalivo was with him for 5 years at club level with Fiorentina. Giovinco. It hasn't been Super Mario, it hasn't been crazy Mario, it's been quiet Mario tonight, hasn't it? Shot is on, and a bad effort from Derrida.
One thing's been consistent all game long is Italy is okay with Derrida, Juracek, Rosický having shots from distance.
Yeah, they've constantly allowed them that range, haven't they? 30 yards from goal.
The only real legitimate chance was when Kozak got in behind one-on-one with Buffon.
Derrida involved again, but this time on the receiving end of a yellow card. Still plays his football here in the Czech Republic with Victoria Pilsen, a team that got into the Champions League a couple of seasons ago. "20 minutes gone in the second half. Giovinco awaiting that delivery, now doing battle with Cesare Prandelli. Turn pass, has Kadlec on his way. Oh, it's evaded one challenge, another shot from Kozak. It looked like he'd taken too long, but suddenly it opened up for Libor Kozak.
It was the little touch, though. Right here when this ball comes, he just touches it. Just a last-second touch. And Buffon comes up big again.
Six shots on target now for the Czechs, none for Italy. But just some signs of encouragement for the home crowd. Libor Kozak.
But see the difference when he's involved into this game now? Now it opens it up. Now you have to defend him when you're the two center backs from Italy. Then the midfielders can come out of the midfield late into the attack. When he's out wide, there's no danger whatsoever for Czech Republic going forward.
Well, they're going forward again. The bounce deceiving Pirlo. Derrida. Pressing the reset button. Kadlec. Seen him get forward that much. He was the recipient of the barge in the back there from Mario Balotelli. Kadlec normally is off the leash and attacking at will, and Balotelli is showing the yellow card.
Frustration has set in for Super Mario. It has set in. The first 20 minutes, he looked like the enthusiastic player that Prandelli talked about Italy needs from San Marino, but now this game, he's completely lost his way. He's not even involved in the game, and then now he's on a yellow card, but now another silly move from Balotelli, and he's out.
Yeah.
You know, you sit here and you want to, he's just, I don't know what the word is, but you're so enamored with everything physical tools he has. But then he's one of the more frustrating players to watch. I mean, Adrian's got every physical tool you can ask for, but then sometimes between the ears, it's just not evident.
Manchester City fans, I'm sure, will be more than familiar with that sensation you're describing.
Well, and I'm sure every Italian fan is going to hit me up on Twitter saying I'm too harsh, but the reality is, too often, he's too up and down. And as I say that, he'll score a bicycle kick in the 80th minute, and Italy will win 1-0. That's how it works.
Cesare Prandelli, one of the shining stars of Czech football. His father was an Ethiopian doctor who emigrated to the Czech Republic. A final score, and what a shock that's
not a misprint.
I think they are doing jigs and everything in Glasgow. Scotland, the beleaguered Scotland, who haven't won for so long, it seems, under Gordon Strachan have gone to Croatia and won by 1-0, and that throws that group into Belgium's hands now.
And Paul Carr, who's one of our statisticians here at ESPN at halftime of that Croatia-Scotland game, posted the chances of Scotland making the World Cup, and it was 0.0.
Blutovsky, did he add at the end of that? No, in fact, they were the first European team to be eliminated in terms of having no chance of making Brazil. And look at that, that's a present for Belgium. That's gift wrapped. Here's Pirlo for Italy. The Italians encamped in Czech territory. Haven't really been able to pierce the armour around that penalty area. Kadlec leaping to meet it.
Immediately pulled up with a calf injury.
Yeah, he's down, isn't he? Balotelli's knocked down. Oh, a yellow card is coming out. Right on cue, Mario Balotelli. He always makes headlines. I'm not sure if he has a t-shirt saying "Why always me" underneath it this time, but he is off. 2 yellow cards that could easily have been avoided.
There's just absolutely no reason for this. And the reason why is because, okay, if that's your first yellow, you're okay with it. You shake, you say, all right, you're challenging a ball. But your stupid yellow card 2 minutes before this, now put your team a man down.
Yep, the 2 bookings just a matter of minutes apart. And how frustrating for Cesare Prandelli. He will now be without Super Mario for the Bulgaria game. That's their next World Cup qualifier at home to Bulgaria in September. And Italy will have to see this out with 10 men in Prague. Kadlec is trying to hobble back into action. Balotelli straight down the tunnel, and look at that, furious with himself as well. Watch out any furniture in that Italian dressing room.
Just so frustrating. If you're a Milan fan, if you're an Italy fan, it's just so frustrating. He gets in the way of himself more often than not. I mean, there's so many positives you can say. 12 goals in 13 Serie A games since moving to Milan, and then in a World Cup qualifier in the 71st minute, when you're on the road 0-0, Italy needs him. 2 stupid yellows. You just have a feeling with Balotelli, Adrian, that the question will always remain with him. Yep. What if?
Yep.
What if he gets the entire act and package together?
Well, I mean, his 6 months with Milan haven't been without incident, but he was producing on the pitch. Everything looked to be roses, didn't it?
Well, I think with Balotelli, like you said, there's always going to be incidents, but it's to what degree?
Yeah. Selassie. Now, the Czechs building something. The Italian defensive resistance is firm as usual. Pirlo. Away from Barzali. Another corner kick coming the Czechs' way. Another change from Mikhail Bilek. Vladimir Darida is off, and Miroslav Kadlec is on. In comes the corner towards the near post. Nothing doing, but they will set up for a retake. Lazil. And he's used to the big occasion. Lazil played in a Champions League final with Monaco nearly a decade ago. Alberto Aquilani is going to be introduced by Cesare Prandelli. Aquilani, who had excellent season with Fiorentina and who's had so many false starts in his career. Aquilani is going to replace Pirlo. He's always been that sort of player as well. Remember, Rafa Benitez spent $25 million on him back in 2009.
Injuries have just stalled his career.
Yeah. His value when he moved to Fiorentina at the start of the season was 10% of what it was 4 years ago. Aquilani trying to re-establish himself at the national team level. To go back to Rosický, Kadlec. Given away carelessly. Balotelli's a little like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Taylor. He's always going to get the headlines one way or the other.
Yeah, but see, now you see the part of the game that's changed now without Balotelli. There's now no strong figure up top, so they have to play on the ground, find Giovinco's feet. Just put your team in a hole too often. And saying all that, he's still an enormous talent.
Yeah. Talent Italy will have to do without. The rest of the night in Prague and then at home to Bulgaria as the corner is a gift for Petr Čech. Chase a lost cause there, Miroslav Kadlec. Can the Czechs find another gear, another dimension, and take advantage of this numerical situation that presents itself? One goal in this closing 10 minutes or so could transform this World Cup qualifying campaign for them. Lazil. Fancy flick didn't work. 10 minutes to go. Remember, Italy playing with 10 men. Too many crosses have had that sort of end result tonight, Taylor. Kadlec's overhit delivery.
For both teams.
Again, a little bit surprising, perhaps, that Michal Bilek hasn't thrown another out-and-out forward out there. Miroslav Kadlec has a decent scoring record with Sparta Prague, but there's also Thomas Peckart on the bench, who hasn't been turned to yet. Petr Čech heaving it downfield. Skips through to his opposite number. No signs that this record of Italy's in Prague is going to change. They haven't won here since before the Second World War.
No, but they're also not in a must-win situation.
No. Don't need it. Down a man. Would like it.
The Czechs really haven't tested him in the last 20 to 25 minutes, so why not see it out 0-0? There's not a better team in this world playing down a man.
Cesare Prandelli preaching patience and calm again. Aquilani was clipped there by Selassie.
Just felt like you'd see Selassie be more involved into the attack going forward and really hasn't had the opportunity to.
Yeah. Same on both flanks for the Czechs. Selassie and Kadlec have been held in check for the most part. Kozak. Kadlec has drawn the foul. Kind of a needless one, really, from Barzagli.
No, there's no reason to tug that shoulder there. Barzagli had won the ball, won positioning, and now it gives up a dangerous set piece. First half, we saw Plasil find Civic coming in late, but he was offside. It's that in-swinger right in front of Buffon that's dangerous.
Now the left foot of Jaroslav Plasil with 6 potential targets in the penalty area. On free beyond the far post was Jiricek. Agony for him, and he's hurt too as he slid in to meet it. Shot off the outside of the post.
It's the one thing when you play that high of a line, when the ball's that close to your 18, someone can easily get in behind.
Well, constantly, Petr Jiricek has been a man most likely to pierce the Italian armour. It's come no closer than that. Stretching to reach that ball, really seems to have done himself some damage, Taylor.
Well, initially he grabbed his left toe, now he's grabbing his upper thigh.
Yeah, he was at full stretch when he met it, wasn't he?
More concerning is how wide open he was, Adrian.
Yeah. He remains down and off the pitch behind the play as Italy press on. Strong run through the centre from Rosický. Combination with Kadlec. Hoopsman. Lazil, here comes Selassie. It's been a relative stranger in the Italian penalty area. And who's finished up his first season in the Bundesliga with Werder Bremen. Sure Czech is going to play any further part. He's not. Daniel Kolar is going to come on. Attacking midfielder who plays in the Czech Republic with Victoria Pilsen.
Scored against Armenia.
Yep. Marchisio. Abate's cross is repelled. Rosický. Constantly probing and pushing and trying to instigate Rosický. Kadlec. Nice sharp cut inside. Kadlec keeping it low. Can Italy preserve their point in Prague here? Czechs trying to work up a head of steam. They're going to have some time to think about it now. Aquilani catching one full in the face.
And a delayed reaction a little bit.
Yeah.
1,000, 1,000. All right, I'm going to go down.
Seemed to hit his hand as well, didn't it?
You know, you brought up in the first half the back four being from Juventus. It's amazing. You see Abate lose his footing, get beat 1-on-1. How good Bonucci and Barzagli are covering up those spaces.
Yeah, they just don't share the same footballing brain, don't they? Bonucci and Barzagli and Chiellini.
Well, you watched the last 10 minutes. Would you really, if you just turned the game on right now, would you know that Italy was a man down?
No. Mario Balotelli.
Just because of the midfield and the back four, always on the same page, Adrian.
If you are just joining us, Mario Balotelli, the man that dismissed what actually was his first red card for Italy. He's picked up several at club level. Time ebbing away here. A point will be more than enough for Italy. Not sure it will be enough for the Czech Republic, and they know that. Just a little too elaborate on the edge of the penalty area. It breaks down. Italy will be part of the Confederations Cup in Brazil, which kicks off for the host nation against Japan. June the 15th is the date. We'll bring you every kick of the ball here on ESPN. 2:30 Eastern, June the 15th. A big day for us. We'll have a doubleheader with Portland against Dallas from MLS right after that game.
My money's on Tahiti. Scoring one
Hope you
goal.
don't have too much
one
of your
goal.
money on Tahiti. Even doing that would be moral victory. There's Giovinco. Stoppage time. The Czech Republic capital, Prague. Is there going to be a late show? Not like that, there isn't, because the offside flag comes up against Kadlec.
This scoreline holds up. That road to Brazil in 2014 and Kadlec very close to being onside there.
Yeah.
It's just more difficult. Now they have to go on the road in Bulgaria, at Italy. It's difficult, all because of that 3-0 loss at home to Denmark.
Again, the questions are, where are the goals going to come from for the Czechs? This will be 4 times they've been shut out in 6 World Cup qualifiers thus far. Only the bottom 2 in the group have they managed a goal against, Armenia and Malta.
But this was kind of like their performance in Euros.
They found a way, didn't they? They knocked the host nation Poland out in the group stages. Now, Selassie goes down. Well, big look at it from the referee. Not really dealt with by the Italian defence, and they were so nearly punished. Oh my, that shot from Qualy just inches wide.
Well, and it's really where 2 of their 3 best chances have come from 50-50 balls, loose balls at top of the 18. And Qualy scored a goal just like this against Armenia in the last home qualifier. They just haven't been efficient in that final third.
So a real scare for the Azzurri right at the end, just a minute left to go. Well, this Italian performance won't win any prizes for artistic merit, but they get out of here with a point. I think it is mission accomplished. It's Qualy. A lot still to do, hemmed in by Chiellini. Their chance for one more assault on Gianluigi Buffon's goal. The shot is on. Oh, Rosický tried to cut back into more space that simply wasn't there.
Great work from Giovinco at the end of that.
And in a way that sums up the night for the Czech Republic, certainly giving as good as they got here in Prague and giving Italy plenty to ponder, but not really coming close to beating Buffon. A late flurry perhaps when they had the numerical advantage, but a point here